Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Throwback Thursday, where we give you some sort of movie news and then a throwback movie that sort of relates to it. And today we have to talk about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, because that comes out in a very few short months. I'm going to break down the trailer a little bit and give you my thoughts on whether or not you should go and see this movie, and then we'll have a throwback movie review. What is it? Just wait and see. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so we have to talk about this Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom movie. It comes out on December 20th of this year, and that's not that far away. So a lot of people are saying that the reason this movie didn't get a trailer before now is because of the bad screenings of this movie. The screenings they've done of this movie haven't been well, according to a lot of people. I don't necessarily believe that this is true. And test screenings are a unique thing, because test screenings are usually done by people who aren't fans. They don't pick a comic book fan to go and see a movie in a test screening that is a comic book fan. If that works to their advantage, then yay, bravo. But it's not the way it's typically done. The way it's typically done is they pick somebody off the street, kind of, or somebody gets elected to be in this test screen, and they go and see the movie. They give their review. Now, one of the story elements that seems to be where they're going in this movie may also attribute to why your average movie-going audience would deem this to be a bad movie. And we'll get into that in just a little bit. The movie starts off with Aquaman talking about how he used to be unemployed, and now he's a king, a husband, and a father. Well, this is actually pretty cool, because then we get a couple montage scenes within the trailer of him with his little baby, and it's so cute, and it's, it's touching, it's endearing. Then we get Black Manta. And Black Manta instantaneously says, I will kill Aquaman. I will take everything from him. I will take his family from him. And when a villain says that, you know they mean business. And even though it's cliche, when I hear a villain say that, it always makes me a little bit more pumped to see a movie or to read that comic or anything like that. Because as cliche as it is, to have a villain be that ruthless is always fun. And as if that's not enough, the rest of the trailer is pretty action-packed. We see him looking distraught while Black Manta is standing over his family home, standing over his lighthouse, which is on fire. And I'm wondering if they went there. In the comic books, they really do kill Aquaman's baby. It's Black Manta that does it too. If this is the story arc they've chosen to tell us, then hey, that would explain the bad test audience, because your typical test audience doesn't want to go into a movie to see some baby die in a fire. That's not what's going to happen here. That's not what they've come to see. But if a comic book movie fan goes in and they say they took his family, just like they did in the comic book, now they're a little bit more understanding as to why this happened. It don't mean they liked it, but they are understanding to why this happened. Well, then we understand also from that point why he would team up with his brother, who was actually the bad guy in the first movie for the most part. And they have sort of this really hate-hate relationship, and then they are kind of thrown together to defend the kingdoms in this movie. It looks to be really promising, and the movie itself looks cool from this trailer. It looks equally as stunning as the previous movie. And if you've seen the previous movie, you know what I'm talking about. The original Aquaman movie was legitimately DCEU's version of Avatar. It was beautiful. It took us to a new place. And this movie looks to be doing that, and the action looks great. Now, why would you go and see this movie? Why would you go and see it if it's going to be the end of the DCEU. Well, that's the thing here. James Gunn has said that he wants to bring back some of these characters, some of these actors who have played these characters. He has been in talks with Jason Momoa, and we know this. We just don't know to what extent, because the rumor had it that he was in talks with him to play Lobo. I never really believed that. I always believed that he was in talks with him to continue as Aquaman. And if you go and see this movie, you're supporting that concept. If you're saying, hey, I like him as Aquaman, or I can live with him as Aquaman, and give Jason Momoa that job. And that's one reason. Another reason is that I think by the end of this movie, we're going to kind of see a little bit of something that's going to tell us exactly where it's all going from here. Remember, this is the last. And Blue Beetle and everything that's come before has kind of had a hint that something's going on. The Flash was the first that kind of had a major hint that, hey, you know what? The Flash might not be where he thinks he is anymore. And then the movie sort of progressed from there. Blue Beetle and Aquaman even now could have a similar thing where it kind of tells you what's up. And I'm 100% down for that. So I think this movie will sort of interact with what comes next. And that is a major reason to invest in seeing this movie. Even if it doesn't, it looks to be a really fond farewell to the DCEU. And as a DCEU fan, you should be willing to go and support that final farewell to the movies that you liked. Now let's jump into our throwback movie of the week. And our throwback movie of the week is, of course, Aquaman, the original. Aquaman 2018. And Aquaman 2018, like I said, was visually stunning. It took us to a whole new level of special effects. They did things in that movie that were absolutely amazing and had never been done in a comic book movie before. And in a lot of ways, that made that movie really exciting. While it was not the most grandiose of movies in terms of plots, you had brother versus brother, and then you had Black Manta sort of in the background. And then the thing of that was that it was setting all that up for a sequel that it suddenly looked like we weren't going to get. However, looking at that movie and seeing all those effects and seeing the places it took us and the things it allowed us to be part of, just for the ocean scenes alone, that movie is worth a rewatch before you watch Aquaman 2. And if you have never seen the first Aquaman film, you should definitely check it out, if only for the visual effects. So that's what I think, but I want to know what you guys think. As always, we want to know what you guys think, so go ahead and leave us a comment in that comment box below, letting us know what you think. Make sure to share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of the conversation as well. Make sure you hit that like button. It's free and it helps the channel, and we appreciate it. Miko says we need more subscribers, and you don't want to disappoint Miko, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.